So hey guys, today we're back at it again with a dumb deck building challenge. So since they released Theia, the Primal Being, I was thinking, what if we just made a self-imposed rule and we built a deck that had to play under these conditions. For the whole duel, we are not allowed to summon 5 times. So the max amount of summons we are allowed during the entirety of a whole duel is simply 4 summons. And we're not allowed to summon 5 times. So how would we build a deck around this? So logically, we would run not that many normal monster or not normal monsters. We would not run that many monsters, and we would not run that many normal summons either. So hand traps still fine. So we can run logically Ash Blossom Joe Spring, but it's just like what's the point? Max C is not going to matter. We're only going to summon 4 times throughout the entirety of the duel. So yeah, let's figure it out. What? Well, the first thing that comes to mind here is what method will we do for lethal? So we need to lethal our opponent somehow. Their life points should probably hit 0. That we'll need an alt win con, which I don't think is super doable necessarily, but all right. The easiest choice, I guess, would be to go with Millennium, because you just summon Exodia, and that's like the only thing you would need to summon. Well, the Exodia fusion, right? So yeah, that's it. And you can probably win with just that guy, or one additional summon. There's also like the defense piercing stuff going on, so that'd be the easy answer. And we don't take the easy way out here. So let's see, what's an interesting way we can go about this? So we might want to consider inflicting some burn, but can't be too much burn, because we don't want to just necessarily play a burn strategy, unless we do want to play a burn strategy, in which case we do want to do that. But burn strategies I don't think are like that great in general right now, so it's kind of whatever. But if we were playing a ghost second kind of like burn strategy, I mean, Ghost Mourner is not actually that bad, so that's something to consider. Ash Blossom Joe Spring I don't think we need. We should at least grab Imperm though. Maybe Called By is not bad as well. Worth consideration. We can take Called By out later. I don't think we need Ash Blossom like at all, unless we're playing maybe Crossout. So alright. Next step. Just because we're not allowed to special summon 4 times doesn't mean we're not allowed to summon at all, right? So if we have just a really big guy, that would be helpful. So I'm thinking if we're doing a really good special summon, let's make it a really good one. So we'll just simply do Dragoon, right? And we won't be doing this with Verte. It's just if we top deck Red Eyes Fusion, we have Red Eyes Fusion. And I don't think we can recycle these guys, can we? Could we? Maybe. That'd be a little bit psychopathic though, I guess. We could do like a Necrofusion, technically. And this would be not bad, actually. Cannot attack this turn. Banish face down. Okay. So we have a little bit of maybe some synergy going on. So Red Eyes Fusion, if we can grab that would help us out a lot. And Dragoon, pretty nice as well, I guess. What would we use for this? I don't think we can do this, can we? Track. Target a monster you control, destroy, and if you do. Yeah, so the destruction is mandatory. So Trap Track, not doable. How about Trap Trick? Yeah. And then we can use this to grab a variety of traps as well. And then we just throw in like 2 Necrofusion, and that's probably reasonably consistent enough. We could consider Triple Tactics Thrust, so we can thrust for like Necrofusion or Trap Trick to get into some other cards. So that is kind of nice. Draw Power would also be pretty nice. I think we can afford to then play Time Turning Morganite. If we really want to, we could do this. And we could also play the other Morganite as well, playing Succumbing Song Morganite. Not that, like, synergistic with Dragoon, though. So not very happy about that. Alright. How about this now? Let's see what else we have. So, Sky Striker. Is this worth running at all? We can get spells and traps, or spells into the graveyard. I guess that might be worth it. So I'm thinking of maybe grabbing, well, we'll see. Does Eagle Booster target? It probably targets, so we can't do this on, yeah. Wait, we can't do this on Dragoon because neither player can target Dragoon, so can't really do anything about that. Just out of curiosity, I guess, does Gatchery target? Right here. Target. Yes, it in fact also targets. So you can't make a truly unaffected Dragoon like this, at least. Alright. Huh. Is there anything we can do to really oppress our opponents here? So, Floodgates, I guess. Yeah. That's probably efficient. I guess we should grab, like, Tikaboo and stuff. That makes sense, I guess. Tikaboo. Rivalry. Goes in. All fine for us to play because, wait, we're only going to, like, summon pretty much just Dragoon. And then maybe something else. Like one other card, presumably. Not that many cards, but, you know. Yeah, this will get us something, at least. I guess we have this mostly for Ash Blossom Joyous Spring then, which is fine. If we were to want to prevent our opponent from negating this, is there something that can protect this? We're mostly afraid of Ash Blossom, so we could go, like, try Prohib. Probe's, like, fine. If the duel's long enough, I think Prohib kind of could be clutch, honestly. Like, what's a really good key card we could declare? Like, we could declare Chundra, for example, and then we would never have to deal with Chundra, which is kind of interesting. Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, we have a lot of decent targets we could kind of use with this. Exchange. We can exchange. Yeah, that should be fine. Because we can set cards like we could set Red Eyes Fusion, we can set any traps we don't want our opponent to necessarily get off of exchange. We could play just regular exchange, right? Yeah. That should be fine. And then, in terms of back row, we should be able to protect ourselves a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe a Solemn Judgment, like, playset would be not bad. Maybe something like that, right? Yeah, we'll go with that. Go in 3 as Solemn. And then if we are to go second, we still want a little bit more consistency, hopefully. So is there a way for us to get Red Eyes Fusion to kind of search this? I guess there is a card that searches this, actually. If we were to play this, right? We would probably need this in the graveyard, though, which is kind of awkward. Not really sure if we have a super good way to do this. Is there a card that just searches this, like, immediately on the spot? I don't think so, right? It shouldn't be. Wait. There is. Red Eyes Insight. Send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Add a Red Eyes spell trap from your deck to your hand except for Red Eyes Insight. So then we can just throw in a copy of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon for this. But the awkward part is, like, with the Dark Magicians here. So I guess we should do this logically. And then up the amount of Red Eyes Black Dragons we play by 1. I think that's pretty reasonable. And then aside from this, maybe some more hand traps to round things out. I think we can play Impulse, right? Light, Earth, and Wind. We're not playing any of those. Okay. So triple impulse, that's a little bit of a step up. And we should probably round this out with some hand traps that just don't conflict with impulse, and then that should be fine. So I'm thinking of the fact that we could technically do this and it wouldn't be that bad, but it's not that great either. So Crow, I guess, is fine. Crow is just generically good enough that I don't think there's any problems with this. And then we'll throw in maybe like a Duster or something. I am noticing that we have a lack of back row removal though. But we don't necessarily need to care about back row too much because we have Triple Dragoon. So we're looking towards that, right? And that might be useful. I guess we can throw in an additional copy of Dark Magician, right? So hands, we should draw like something for the most part. I guess it would be nice to have some more traps that actually do something. So I guess maybe we actually just cut Prohib, because Prohib's just a little bit too ambitious. I think everything else might be fine. Ice Dragon's Prison, I don't think we should play, right? Should we? Because these two are spellcasters. But I guess we can just never give our opponent Ice Dragon Prison, which I think is kind of fine. But what's our opponent going to do with Necrofusion? Or Trap Trick, or Infinite Impermanence, right? That would be fine to give. Even Solemn Judgment's not too bad. Under the right circumstances, right? So I guess we can just throw in another copy of Dark Magician. Yeah. And then maybe like Ice Dragon's Prison, because that's just pretty solid right now overall, I think. So yeah, that's a completed list right there. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we have Red Eyes Fusion, and we're bound to draw some vanillas. There's just nothing we can do about it. If we're going second, we have Dominus Impulse. If we're going first, we just have this. And then we hold some of these cards in hand. So roll back. Would be nice if we could actually send it. The only thing we can do to send it is with Dragoon. So yeah, not great. We do have insanely high consistency to just literally Dragoon pass, right? Unless we get hand trapped, in which case we have moderate depression, huh? Oh right, that's why we had Prohib. I'm now just remembering. Well, our opponent will simply not hit the 1 and 3. That is the only thing we could hope for with a list like this, I guess. Yeah. Can't always draw the banger hands, I guess. Fusion Duplication's not even necessarily useful. We just need to see the Red Eyes Fusion really badly for this. So, with this hand, how would I play it? I would probably set, I guess, Ice Dragon's Prison, Red Eyes Fusion, Triple Tactics Thrust, and then activate Exchange. And then I would take like my opponent's best card or potential outs they might have. I'll just take that card, hold it hostage, and then I can maybe pitch it off of Dragoon as well. And, you know, maybe I could consider giving Thrust as well. Like, well, what's the worst thing you could Thrust for? Some decks just don't have the targets. So, Thrust as well? Like, not that bad. I think you're kind of forced to add Crow no matter what, though. So, that's not bad, I guess. Ice Dragon's Prison I don't want to give because then I'd have to negate IDP later. But is it that bad if I have to negate it specifically later? Because I will draw like a card for turn next turn, right? Yeah. We're not really building advantage though. So the time tearing cards actually seem like they might not be that bad. And now that I remember, Exchange is actually to help us utilize Red Eyes Fusion and play around some stuff, right? We're allowed to set cards, right? Yeah, okay. So we can go like set some cards, activate Exchange, see if our opponent has like Ash Blossom or something like that. Then we can grab it if they do, and then now it's our Ash Blossom. Then we go Red Eyes Fusion. That's the basic idea though, I guess, which should be fine. So yeah. I guess that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.